Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here today to another edition of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode, the SpeedyCash.com 400 kilometers, 167 laps here at the Texas Motor Speedway, set for 250 miles of racing, our second race at Texas this season. Sorry for that at the very beginning. I was taking a drink of my water. I was in the middle of eating some spicy wings I got from B-Dubs, and I was trying to cool myself off. As I hit the start button, I got that little zinginess on the end of my tongue. I was like, yeah, I need to cool that off real quick. So it was a little bit bad timing there for me hitting play. But anyway, getting into this race here today, 10th race of the season for the Truck Series on NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. Doubleheader coming your way tonight. Again, sorry for the difficulties with the Career Mode not saving. Again, I will put it in rest mode, and it should work this time, putting it in rest mode and being able to just pick up right where I left off for tomorrow night. As for the full race live stream for the Cup Series at Indianapolis, that will be postponed until Tuesday, unfortunately, with the issues we were having with it not saving, because it did not save my race from the Indianapolis road course earlier this week either, so now I got to get that caught up slightly. Not going to be as hard as the Career Mode, but still, that is definitely a tough break too. So that is why we have no Indianapolis Brickyard 400 tonight. So if you're looking for that, that will be Tuesday night. But enjoy the action we will have on tap here today. We've got Texas, and then we go short track racing at Iowa at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight as well here on NASCAR Heat 5. Let me unmute my TV real quick. I need to grab my remote from the other half of the room, and we will get this race underway. Alright, we are back. Jackson Thomas, Trevor Grimes, Diamond Jeff, Justin Sozio. I saw Patrick Shadley in the chat earlier. Michael Turner. Who else I got a shout out? I get everybody. Tim Irvin. Man, there was a lot of you guys here earlier. That is it. Okay, got all of you before the start of the race. MON RT25 Gamer, welcome to the stream as well.
Alright, now, be smart out there.
17th qualifying position here for Schneider. Trying to go to victory lane for the fourth time this year. Johnny Sauter will start on the pole for our Motorsports. Green flag is in the air in Texas. 40 laps in stage number 1. It's going to be a lot of fun. We had a good race at Texas earlier this season. This is our second and final trip here for this Truck Series season on the Career Mode. Already a 3-wide initial start here for Schneider. A 98 on the engine department coming into tonight's race. 95 on the aero, 95 on the suspension. And yet another mile and a half this season. Our 7th already of the year, but the second time here at Texas. We got a different short track coming up next at Iowa on the schedule. Riley Herbst with a big block on Schneider in the middle of the front stretch. My goodness, can't talk. Stays in front of Rafael Lassard. 7 different winners in the first 9 races of the season for the Truck Series, leaving just 3 spots open for the playoffs coming into this race tonight. 38 laps already to go here in stage 1. Again, short stages in the Truck and Xfinity Series races, as we come to find. Still 3 wide battling there up inside the top 10. Schneider was close to breaking into the top 10 earlier, but after qualifying 17th, he's gained 5 spots. He's sitting in the 12th position already a couple laps in. Ethan, welcome to the stream. Battle for the lead going on right now between Johnny Sauter and Stuart Friesen. Sauter's led the first 4 laps of the race. First 3, rather. Friesen's still trying to get around him. Right on that left rear corner panel, both of the top 2 are pulling away as they are side by side. Still 3 wide back in the back half of the top 5, into the back half of the top 10. Sauter, another driver, winless on the season, knowing there are only 3 spots left. Gustine pulled off the upset last night at Kansas on the Career Mode. He also won a stage in there as well, so he's got 6 playoff points. See how this is going to go. think it's NASCAR Heat fault with the glitching. Oh, well, for sure. It's not my fault. I just feel bad for you guys because I announced what time we're going to start the race, and I keep having to start it late because I have to catch the career mode up. I didn't get done updating it until like 6:30, so that's why I just moved it to 7, so I'd have enough time to grab something to eat, too, because it was starting to run into that time. I was going to have originally beforehand, so... Yeah, unfortunately, we got to postpone the Cup Series. It is not my fault whatsoever that the game is not saving. I've worked on the issue, but there's not really anything I can do either. It's just the bad luck we've been having recently. But as Patrick Shadley, I saw he was the one that stated in the chat before we started the stream tonight that I can't wait for NASCAR 21. I said I can't either because I won't have to worry about this game ever again. Thought I was done with it, brought it back. I'm having fun with the races, but the game just keeps crashing way too much, even more than what it did before, and it almost makes it unplayable. It makes it worse for you guys. Again, you guys come in to support me, to watch the channel for your enjoyment, and you can't get as much enjoyment out of it if, for one, I'm not, and then for two, you know, delaying these streams, I'm sure, has to be painful too. That you set up, okay, gonna be watching a race, you know, earlier tonight, or gonna be watching a race at say 7, doesn't start till 8 because of the game. Or my internet going out the other night, but that was something completely random and different. Especially since moving to Spectrum good 6, 7, 8 months ago now. No, it hasn't been that long. It's probably been since like September. It's about the beginning of football season, I believe, is when we jumped to Spectrum.
Car there on the inside.
Thought I was done. I was done. I was done with this game, but I wanted to bring back a different career mode, and I brought back one more season simply for you guys, because I know you guys wanted it. That was the only reason I brought it back. I will space it out a little bit more with the next NASCAR game and not racing. Like when NASCAR Heat 5 came out, that was one thing I didn't do very well, was space it out. That's all we did was NASCAR Heat 5 until I was pretty much done with the gameplay of what I needed to do for NASCAR Heat 5, and that's why we just stopped playing. I'm going to space it out more with the next NASCAR game, so that way it rolls into it, so we'll have more classic races like throughout the course of the week. Maybe not initially on its release, but like maybe after a month after it's out, we'll have like 2 throwback races a week, meaning 2 races with NASCAR 05, for instance, with that playthrough. So that way we're spacing it out a little bit better, and we don't have to wait quite as long between, say, Heat 5 and NASCAR 21, compared to what we will with NASCAR 21, you know, the next NASCAR game as well, beyond that. Another 3-wide moment here at the turn 4. Schneider to the inside of Riley Herbst. Grant Enfinger passes them both up to 7th. And Johnny Sauter still led every lap of this race. Friesen came close to getting around him a couple times, and now Friesen's lost a couple truck lengths from Sauter. Sauter trying to go to victory lane for the first time today. DB Forever 85, welcome to the stream. We could get more than 10 different winners this season. We were already talking about that a couple races ago. And we still have, even after this race concludes, 6 races before the playoffs. If we get to 8 different winners, I mean, unless we get a repeat winner in the next 5 out of 6 races, we're going to have at least 10 different winners. We still got one more wild card race left on the regular season at Eldora yet, too. That can very well predict or have another outcome of another new winner just in that race. So these guys that don't have a win, Chastain, he's got 3 poles this year, but no wins. Johnny Sauter with a couple poles himself, no wins. Brett Moffitt, former champion, no wins. Zane Smith, fast GMS truck, no wins. Defending champ, Sheldon Creed, no wins. Austin Hill, 2019 champ, no wins. Those are a lot of strong vehicles. Ben Rhodes, Store Motorsport truck, no wins. These upsets by Gustine, perhaps Tanner Gray. if you can call that an upset. He's running the top 10 points. And even our team, our small startup team at the start of the year, has 3 wins in the first 9 races. I mean, if you consider all those 3 upsets, that is going to leave a couple of these stronger trucks outside of the playoffs that aren't even going to make the playoffs and have a chance at the championship in the final 7 races. And make this career mode a must-watch here in the coming days as we get to the end of the regular season, that is for sure. Schneider with a run to the outside of Moffitt for 4th. Just got off turn 4 a little better. This 99 truck definitely has speed for Schneider tonight. Finished 2nd at Kansas in last night's race. He did win 1 stage along the way as well. He won the 2nd stage of the race. You mentioned Gustine won a stage and won the race. Those 2 were basically top 2 the whole race. It was just a battle back and forth, and Dean ended up getting the win in the end. Off of a little bit better strategy, Schneider had to hit that extra time on that final stage. The right front tire, the right side tires at the right front, wearing out quite a bit. Chastain threw a mighty big block down the front stretch to try and hang on to 3rd. It was clean when he did it, though. Look at the gap. He was able to pull the 99 off turn 2 as well, checking him up a little bit. And now Chastain goes high. We mentioned Tanner Gray with that, if you could say, upset win. I don't know if we would have said Tanner Gray would have been a lock for the playoffs, especially compared to a lot of these other strong trucks I just mentioned and strong drivers that don't have a win yet this season, that probably need one to make the playoffs. I mean, it is possible that we could have 4 former champions not even make the playoffs if you count Johnny Sauter being a former champ as well. Sauter, Moffitt, Hill, and Creed all winless. At least one of those guys are going to miss it, even if the other 3 do fill up those final spots. Schneider to the inside of Friesen, drives it in deep into turns 3 and 4, trying to beat Friesen to the bottom. 99 truck's handling pretty well as the speed itself, and up to 2nd place now, race high in the early going of stage number 1. I should say about midway through stage 1. 20 down, 20 to go at the line this time. Schneider finished 2nd at Texas earlier this year behind Tanner Gray. Lap trucks holding Sauter up quite a bit off turn 4, pretty much all the way down the front stretch. That's Mike Harmon in the 74 that was holding him up. Schneider just gets to the inside, definitely gets around Harmon a lot quicker. And Schneider's got to run down the back stretch on Sauter now. And to the lead into turn 3 goes the 99 for the first time tonight at Texas. Sauter not going to be able to get a crossover move as they both pass the 0-0 of Angelo Ruck off turn 4 now. More lap traffic up ahead. Schneider comes in with the regular season championship lead after taking the points lead for the first time this year. After the last race at Kansas last night, where Stuart Friesen blew a right front tire on lap 8, smacked the outside wall, ended his day while leading nonetheless. Schneider went on to get a lot of points. Again, 19 stage points total with that one stage win, 2nd in the other stage.
Careful, still there.
Squeezed to the outside there, 4 wide. Sorry, he finished 4th first in the stages, and then finished 2nd in the race.
You got room, you're clear.
3 wide to the outside and 1 or 2. It's a good thing he had a much faster truck than those lap trucks right there. Double-digit figures as far as people watching this race here tonight. So thanks for everybody tuning in. Greatly appreciated as always. Oh man!
Got one down low now.
Jason White left a lot of bottom open for Spencer Boyd. Schneider thought he was going to get down in front of him, and he ran right into the side of the 34, barely kept it off the wall. Still gets the speed off corner exit to get around both the 20 and the 34 that time, though, but it was a little bit of a scary moment with the heavy lap traffic. Nice, we got a couple pit reporters in the chat. Saw that throughout the race last night, too. It's good to see you guys having fun. Jackson, welcome back. $15 laps to go on the stage this time by 2-second lead for Schneider over Johnny Sauter. Rush Chastain third, Stuart Friesen fourth. Brett Moffitt rounds out the top 5. Three of those trucks in the top 5 winless this year. That includes Johnny Sauter, who was the pole sitter and led the first 20 laps of the race today. Hope the glitches stop sooner than later. Yeah, I hope so too. It'll keep me from having to do points myself, but unfortunately I have to do points myself in this. I wasn't going to if we DNF'd at all, and I haven't even DNF'd. That's the crazy thing. Still no DNFs for this 99 team this year, and that's why he's leading the regular season championship. That's why he's been contending for wins. That's why he's got 3 of them in the first 9 races. Especially with this being a start-up team, didn't really know what kind of speed they were going to have out of the gate. And they started the season opener at Daytona with a runner-up second place finish. That's the crazy thing too. 3 wins for this 99 team for Schneider, but also 3 runner-up finishes, 3 second place finishes, including the one last night at Kansas. So 6 top 2 finishes in the first 9 races. And those other 3 finishes have been outside the top 10 of 13th, 14th, and 18th. 18th is your worst finish of the year over halfway through the regular season. That's pretty solid. On top of the fact that you got 6 top 5s. 6 top 2s, again, if you want to be more specific. If there's anybody that is a clear lock for the playoffs of having more than one win, it is this 99 team. So they have that security. They really want to win this regular season championship and score those additional 15 playoff points. Knowing that there's a lot of guys with 1 win, that means there's a lot of guys that are going to have at least 5 playoff points entering the postseason. Schneider's got 2 more than that. That gives him 10 more points. That's not a large buffer going into the playoffs. Anything can happen in one of those 3 races. It's a tough first round as well. We go to Gateway, Canadian Tire, Bristol in the first round of the playoffs. And remember, this 99 team does not have a road course chassis. They do not have a road course race truck that they can prepare for Canadian Tire, at least currently, and probably won't up until that point. So who's to say that they're not even going to contend for stage points or a top 10 at Canadian Tire? They're not going to have to build up as many playoff points as they can and just survive that race, scratch and claw for every point they possibly can, and maybe just hope if they don't get a win at either Gateway or Bristol that they could somehow find a way to point their way into the round of 10. So even winning the regular season championship, yes, it will help. Doesn't mean he's going to be a lock even for the round of 10. Tim Irving, welcome back. Yeah, who disliked the stream? I didn't even see anybody dislike. That's the one thing with my laptop. Like, I can't see who dislikes it until like afterwards. I remember there's one stream I've had. I think it was the Jimmy Johnson Chase Parade season. So that stream's got like over 6,000 views. Like over 100 likes the last time I saw it. It was like 130 something likes or whatever, and like 1 dislike. just somebody popping on like a NASCAR or something. Like, oh, this kid. I don't know, something. I find that funny. I find those like odd disproportionate likes and dislikes really hilarious for some reason. Laughing off. But yeah, make sure you hit that like button down below. Again, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. 2 dislikes. Just because I found it funny, I didn't say hit the dislike button. It might be because I started later. Which again, isn't my fault. That was a NASCAR Elite 5 fault. Game didn't save my career mode. I had to play through the last 5 races. I didn't do the full race. I just did enough to where I finished where I did in the stages. got all the points I could. Now everybody else is randomized a little bit. We're going to keep those same winners the same up to this point. 7 laps to go in stage 1. Schneider has put a lot of trucks a lap down here in stage 1 and on a mile and a half too. He's definitely got a faster truck at Texas than what he had the first time this year, and he unloaded faster. Remember, first time at Texas, the race truck was scheduled to be 95 all the way around. I don't even think it was that. I think it was more closer to around a 90 overall truck, so definitely faster on the unload. You can tell by the speed itself, it's a lot faster too. Not as tight as what he was at Texas in the beginning of the race as well. Using that same setup he had at the very end of the race when they finally started clicking away pretty good lap times. And it's working out early. Sutter led the first 20 laps of stage 1. Right at the halfway point in the first stage, Schneider took the lead. He has taken off to an 11-second advantage over Johnny Sauter. The Sauter is fast on the short run, and we saw that was good enough for Gus Dean to win last night's race, even though it ended on a long run. So tire wear, I don't think is going to be a factor at Texas. It usually isn't since the repave. Right front's still looking pretty good right now, easily to the end of the stage. No need for Schneider to have to back off like he has had to do at both Kansas and Charlotte. But we'll wait and see. This is exactly why you have to race to the very finish, because anything can happen. We saw that at Kansas last night with Gus Dean pulling off. And Dean deserved the win. He not only put himself in that position, but he led over half the race, too. So Schneider wasn't even the most dominant truck. They were easily both the top 2, and they were really close on speed the whole race. Gus Dean, again, got the win. Great run for the team. My most viewed video, I believe, is the very first stream I ever did still. NASCAR Heat 4, Daytona 500. Back when I first started the channel, and I think that's probably why I've had success with the channel immediately. I know you guys tend to say I'm, underviewed or, not underappreciated, but like underwatched and stuff, with the subscribers. I deserve more and stuff like that, but honestly, I didn't really know what to expect with this. I was hoping it could turn into something big. Everybody hopes for something like that, but for it to actually become a reality is huge. And we're not even in that reality necessarily yet, but we definitely got a lot more subscribers in the first year than what I would have ever thought. I think that stream definitely helped kick it off, because I think it's right at about 10,000 views. It was over 9,000 the last I checked. I don't know if it's gotten to that 10,000 mark yet, but that definitely helped. Some way or another, the algorithm worked with my first ever stream, and the fact that that's my most viewed stream to this date is pretty impressive. Pretty incredible, really. The 11th place truck, Tanner Gray, going to go a lap down, middle of the backstretch. Zane Smith is the last truck on the lead lap in 10th. He's about to go a lap down. Schneider is putting a beating on the field here late in stage 1. Final lap of the stage will be this time by. Still no caution in the opening stage of the race. We had 5 last night at Kansas. All of them in the first 100 laps. Smith going to go a lap down, so we're going to have 9 trucks finish on the lead lap to the end of stage 1. Zane Smith should be able to hang on and get the free pass in 10th. They'll also get the final stage point. Green white checker flag in the air. Schneider going to pick up his 6th stage win of the season. And race number 10. Really clicking off those stage wins here in recent races as well as race wins. Thanks for that, Trevor. Yeah, just make sure she doesn't subscribe. Yeah, YouTube's been deleting subscribers. We've been over that over the last few streams, so I'm not going to really talk about it much, but I think that's why we haven't gotten to 800 yet. It's like it grows like 2, 3, 4 subs over a 2-day stretch. It goes right back to where it was, like every single time. And we've been stuck at this like 790 to 793 number for about a week and a half. So hopefully we can get there really soon, because we're extremely close to 800. Pit stops here during the stage 1 break. First set of tires going on the truck, especially with no cautions up to this point. No adjustments for the 99 team. They have a bad, fast race truck. Comment down below how many of you guys are excited to see Dirt Bristol this weekend. I know I'm pumped for it. Especially growing up as a dirt racing fan. I'm more curious than anything, but I'm excited for it. Did that? Yeah, thank you for that too, Diamond Jeff.
Be ready here.
Here we go, green flag back in the air. Stage 2 underway. Schneider wins the race off pit road. Sauter restarts second. Quickly hops to the bottom behind the 99 to hold back the 40 of Chastain. Friesen restarted fourth on the outside behind Sauter. Friesen trying to get back in the mix for the regular season title. He ran well here in Texas earlier this season, led a lot of laps. Schneider's already led more laps in stage 1 of this Texas race than what he did in the prior Texas race this season when he only led 4 laps total and only 1 under green flag conditions. He led 20 in stage 1. He's still out in the lead after a quick pit stop and a great early start to stage 2 with a great jump on the restart. Going to Dirt Bristol, nice. I hope you have a lot of fun. Have you been there for any of the other dirt races they've had in the last couple weeks by instance? If so, how has the racing been? I've heard it's been pretty good. Haven't been able to watch any of it. I did catch a little bit of the Pro Invitation, but that's not real racing, so it's a game. Despite what people like to say, it is a game. More realistic than NASCAR Heat. Much more realistic than that, but still a pretty fine line between real and not real.
Got one peeking outside.
Ooh, that was a big block off turn 2. Schneider up in time to block that huge run Ross Chastain had on the outside. Sheldon Creed with a great restart. He's been great on the restarts this season. He just cannot hold that truck in the long runs consistently. And Schneider, even 3 laps into the restart, has the lead. Todd Gilliland's up inside the top 5 for the first time. Looked like Brett Moffitt further back, but took a chunk out of the grass there on the front stretch. Trying to get down underneath the 51 of Riley Herbst, I believe. Here comes Johnny Sauter. Contact with Sauter. Sauter sideways up turn 2 as they were 3 wide. He just got to the outside of the 99 truck. And somehow Schneider holds on to the lead, but not for long. Here comes Sheldon Creed to the bottom. Sheldon Creed takes his first lead of the night. Sauter hunting him down. He was fast on the short one in stage 1. Trying to be fast here in stage 2 as well. Yeah, I get that Diamond Jeff for sure, with it only being 250. Because I was at the All-Star race last year, and that was the only thing I didn't like about it, was the fact, well, there wasn't enough cars on the track either to really make the race like normal Bristol, or Bristol that we're used to seeing. I still had a really fun time. You never have a bad time at the racetrack. And I wanted to go to Dirt Bristol this year more for the spectacle of me growing up going to dirt racing too, for sure. I think that would have hit home as well. I will be at Bristol in the fall, but anyway, yeah, that was one thing that lacked with the All-Star races. It just flew by, like, way too quick. Yeah, they had the Open beforehand, but the actual All-Star race itself started at 9 o'clock, and it was over before 10:30. Like, a cup race taking less than it. That was a little too short, for sure. But that's the All-Star race, and that's why I never really planned on ever going to the All-Star race, but it was because of COVID, and I wasn't able to get to a race before that, and they were allowing enough fans that I got tickets, was able to get tickets for. That's why I went. It was the only reason I went. If COVID wouldn't have happened last year, even if they would have moved it to Bristol for the All-Star race, I wouldn't have went. Because it was the All-Star race. It was a shorter race.
Stay on the bottom. Stay low, stay low.
Taking a plane from Boston down to Tennessee.
Still there.
Yeah, I've never flown before. I've driven to every track I've been to. I want to keep it that way. I'm not too keen on wanting to fly, I'm not going to lie. That, you miss so much when you're flying. I mean, the country is so beautiful. I haven't even been out west really yet. As far west as I've been in Chicagoland. I will be a little further west this year when I go to Road America, but even still, like, it's not that far west. All things considered, especially when you're living in Ohio, it's only 4 hours west, but you really get a feel for, every state I've driven through. I'm glad I didn't fly for that matter. And on top of me not being a big fan of flying.
Stay on the bottom here.
I love driving though. Like, I can drive long distances. Furthest I've driven to a racetrack was Talladega, I guess technically. Talladega, Atlanta, 10 hours. And I don't have a problem driving. I drive straight. And I'll stop to eat, you know, once or twice on the way, but outside of that, you know, I make sure I go to the bathroom when I go to eat wherever, so I don't have to make extra stops for that, as well as when I get gas too. So, I mean, I maybe take an extra half hour, 45 minutes out of my time the entire drive, but that's about it. 10 hours doesn't really feel that bad. You leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, you're getting there by 4 in the afternoon. You know, it's not bad at all. You still have daylight, especially in the summertime. With Talladega, it was Central Time Zone too. So actually, even though I left at, I didn't leave until 9 because rental car issue. That's another story for another time. But anyway, I couldn't leave till 9, and I still got there because of it being Central Time by, what, 6 o'clock their time instead of 7. So yeah, it all worked out. Still got there before dark. There for the truck race too. Okay, nice. It's 6 hours from Bristol. Yeah, I live about 8 hours. I think it took me 8 hours to get there last year. But again, yeah, we left at 6 and we got there by like 2:30 in the afternoon. You know, it's 8 hours if you were to drive straight, but it was an extra half hour again because of food and everything. But you gotta factor that in. I don't actually factor that in when I say it only took 8 hours. I just like go by Google time. You know, how long Google Maps says it takes to get there. That's how long it took me. The grand scheme of things, just an extra half hour isn't really much when you're driving 8 hours. Well, currently on the racetrack, Sheldon Creed is still out in front of Johnny Sauter, but not by much. They're still nose to tail. You can tell Sauter's got a faster truck, and now they're side by side for the lead through 1 and 2. Schneider to the inside of Chastain for third, a little bit further back. He just got around Friesen for fourth the last lap. So side by side for the lead, side by side for third, about another second and a half off the lead. And Creed's holding that outside really well, a lot better than Chastain did. Schneider clears him for third. Chastain trying to get that run off the high side. He's got nowhere to go, and Sauter still has not cleared defending champ Sheldon Creed. Yeah, I can't wait. I know I can't upload videos right now. I'm assuming I probably can from my phone. They just won't be as better of editing, but I still plan on vlogging all my trips this year, so definitely look out for that. I'm not probably going to be able to do the effects I really wanted to, but I will do my best trying to find whatever app I can on my phone to help me do that. I just can't upload any videos from my laptop onto YouTube for whatever reason. I haven't tried to do it from my phone yet, so I'm just hoping that it works from my phone. So that's not 100% guarantee. And the sooner we can get to 1,000 subscribers, if we can ever get there, then, you know, I guess I'll, you know, be able to actually contact YouTube. But I'll be monetized by then. Sheldon Creed still sticking with Johnny Sauter, even though Sauter got around him. Look at Creed, he's looking for the lead right back again. That's probably why he held on to the outside as well as he did, especially at Texas. But here comes Schneider with a run to the high side of Creed into turn 1. I don't know if the top side's going to work to make a pass. Yeah, that's why I was unable to get the dirt bristles, because I didn't buy them right when they came out, and they sold out quick. Especially with the limited capacity, too. That definitely didn't help. With COVID going on. Sauter still leads. Schneider just got around Creed through 3 and 4. Now he goes to the high side for the lead this time. It didn't work when he was trying to battle Creed for second through 1 and 2. See if the top side works here on Sauter. Sauter was really protecting that bottom. He was trying to make Schneider pass him on the outside. There's the side draft down the back stretch. Pulls him back a little more. Into turns 3 and 4. Schneider sends it in deep. Sauter side drafts him right back. Schneider can't clear him yet. Off turn 4, they're still side by side for the lead. Schneider leads the lap at the line. Can he ever clear Sauter? Yes, he does. There's a big block there at the end of the front stretch. Schneider back out in front, stage 2 here at Texas, and the caution waves immediately after taking the lead. That happened at, what track was it? Charlotte? We took the lead immediately and a caution came out. Same thing happened here tonight at Texas. Go to Bristol Dirt, 2 Pocono races, Watkins Glen, New Hampshire, Dover. Nice. Yeah, I'll be at those Pocono races this year. But looks like those will be the only 2 tracks I go. Oh, and Dover. My bad. Yeah, going to Dover too. So maybe I'll see you there. Be representing my Blaney gear. So if you see a tall guy with a mullet and Blaney gear, then that would be me. Riley Herbst is going to hit pit road. Tanner Gray gets a free pass in 11th. There's only 10 trucks on the lead lap, so Herbst is going to restart 10th on fresh tires. Nobody else is going to pitch. Schneider conserving his tires. He's got 3 sets left to the end of the race. We're still in stage 2. Green flag back in the air. So look out for Riley Herbst to maybe upset the field in stage 2. And the KBM truck, I don't know if you can consider that an upset, but he is a rookie in the truck series. Who knows? Good launch on the restart here for Schneider once again, restarting on the inside. I won't say exactly like where I'm sitting for every race, but in the week leading up to it, I'll state where. Usually I sit right around the start-finish line. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'm right on the start-finish line. And as far as the price goes, it varies at different racetracks. That's where if I can sit higher up, I will. But for going to as many races as I do, I try not to spend the most money for tickets at each race. Outside lane works at Texas. It worked for Schneider somehow. That was very impressive. He's at that point in the run where his truck is faster than some of these other guys. Schneider having that long run racetrack. He's just trying to hold on to the end of stage 2. He won stage 1, so he's trying to sweep the stages here at Texas. He was able to do that at Charlotte, where he won both stages and the race. And I guess I mentioned that it was our 6th stage win of the year. It was our 5th stage of the win. Or sorry, 5th stage win of the year in stage 1 at Texas. So we won 1 stage at Texas. We won both at Charlotte, 1 at Kansas, and 1 at Atlanta are the 5 stage wins so far this year. So he's looking for 6 here at stage 2. Riley Herbst still has not cracked the top 5 after restarting 10th on fresh tires. I'm sure restarting on the outside kind of hurt him, regardless of fresh tires or not, especially middle of the pack like he was in. Still 12 laps to go. He's got time to get up there. So Schneider's just trying to grow this lead as big as he can for when Herbst gets to 2nd and starts chipping away at Schneider for the stage win. Another race at Iowa tonight. Scheduled for 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 200 lap short track race for the M&M's 200. Kind of a little loose off turn 4 there. Stays in the gas, drives right out of it. Riley Herbst up to 4th place. Gets around freezing the last lap. He's not far behind both Creed and Sauter for 2nd and 3rd. Working on Sheldon Creed through turns 1 and 2. Couldn't get around him there. He's still waiting behind him. Herbst the 3rd. Now he's working on Johnny Sauter through 3 and 4.
Last
10 laps to go, stage 2. 4-second lead for Schneider. Riley Herbst, though, on about 17 lap pressure tires as far as the green flag laps go. Maybe a little bit more than that. Tires can run Schneider down. He's got 10 laps to do it. He had a top 10 truck before, obviously, with being able to stay on the lead lap and only having 10 trucks in the lead lap before that last caution. Of course, Tanner Gray didn't hit with getting the wave around, getting the free pass, but I guess, again, large reason for that strategy had to have been the tire limit. I know it only really concerns to us, but yeah, I try to make the broadcast as realistic as possible as always, so that's why I'm stating the tire limit for other drivers too. They don't actually have one, but There's that. And even if the strategy doesn't work for the stage win for Riley Herbst, he's getting points, which he needs because he doesn't have a win this season. Who knows? Maybe tonight could be the night for Riley Herbst. He can keep that track position. It's never impossible. 9 points is better than, well, he was in 9th when the caution came out, so that would have been 2 points if he would have ran there to the end of the stage. So that's a 7-point gain right there. That's pretty impressive. The stage is in your dirt office. Yeah, I've never raced on the Dirt Series in Heat 5. I did a little bit in Heat 4, just not on the actual channel. What was it, Heat 3 when the Dirt Series first came out? I did do a lot of the Dirt Series then. I did it for like career mode. I did a couple seasons too. It was fun when it first came out, and then you see the flaws in it with the NASCAR Heat games, and there were definitely flaws there in Heat 3, but it was something different. And they didn't fix the flaws in Heat 4. And I played it a little bit, I was like, okay, this is, kind of carbon copy. And then Heat 5, I haven't even tried it. Obviously, it's still probably the same, but this whole game being basically a carbon copy of Heat 4, the only difference is the drivers that are racing in the series and the fact that the game actually has more glitches and bugs, so therefore, that's why I think Heat 4 is a little bit better of a game than Heat 5. Graphics are pretty much the same, too. Oh, problem for Riley Herbst. He's in second place. He's going to try to make it to pit road. He's not going to make it to the pits. I believe he has just blown an engine. I don't think he's blown a tire because we stay green. Sauter to second place now. So Riley Herbst, so much for that strategy working out now. He did just get tires, so I wouldn't think it was the tire that went down. And we stay green here in Texas. What an unfortunate circumstance for Riley Herbst, taking himself out of a shot to win. It looked like he was going to get a lot of stage points here in Stage 2. He got some in Stage 1. That's going to backfire completely if he gets a bad finish. And how about Ross Chastain up to second place, getting around Johnny Sauter off turn 4. He's trying to finish second in the stage and charge towards his first win of the year. Schneider falls off the lead late. He wants to make sure he's ahead of Sauter and Creed. And the next 3 drivers in line behind Schneider, all winless. You can see that 8th different winner here tonight at Texas. And there's Herbst on pit road, up in smoke. 3 laps to go, Stage 2. Lap traffic about to come up in the picture. Yeah, that's true. DNFs aren't in NASCAR Heat 4. They're a little wonky in Heat 5. I don't think they're as wonky as other people say, but we definitely had our moments where it's like, okay, that shouldn't have been a DNF. But it's kind of like that with every game. I mean, we saw that with NASCAR Thunder 04. It was kind of the same thing. So I'm not going to fault NASCAR Heat 5 completely with that because we've seen even the classic best EA games have that issue. Haven't seen it on 05 yet, but we did see it on 04 for sure. A couple times.
You're all clear up top there.
That game is also almost 20 years old, so I guess the benefit of the doubt, I guess, would be towards those old EA games and not the NASCAR Heat games. But I'll let it slide with NASCAR Heat. As long as it's better for next season. It's only the first year having DNF, so I won't fault them. Final lap of Stage 2 at the line. All these drivers that Schneider's passing here in the last couple laps of the stage are going a second lap down there. They're already 1 lap down. Here we go. Schneider going to sweep the stages for just the second time this season. This now is his 6th stage win of the year, with the 3 wins included. It's going to give him 24 playoff points on the season up to this point. 6 races to go in the regular season after the checkered flag flies here in Texas. So Schneider wins the first 2 stages. Johnny Sauter falls back to 3rd. Chastain picks up the 2nd. Sheldon Creed 4th. Strip Friesen rounds out the top 5 in Stage 1. Moffitt 6th. Gilliland 7th. Enfinger 8th. Zane Smith 9th. Tanner Gray rounds out the top 10. So here we go. NASCAR Heat 4 is better polished game. Yeah, again. NASCAR Heat 5 could be worse, but it's not good. Stage 2 break. Pit stops for the second time tonight, all the way through this time. Jordan Anderson gets a free pass in 11th. He's had a pretty good season so far. He's had a lot of, not a lot, but he's had a few top 10s, which alone on these mile and a halves especially have been really good for that 3-team cell phone team, much like this 99 from Channel Racing. Green flag's about to wave. Stage 3 underway. And we'll see what's going to happen. We had a crazy restart at the beginning of Stage 2 when Schneider was out in front. What will we have this time? 84 laps to decide a winner. Just gets such a big launch on these restarts. It obviously helps restarting on the inside lane from the leaders. Pit crew is one on the race off pit road in the stage break of both stages. Pit crew's 100 all the way around, so that definitely helps too. Be interesting to see if this team makes any more upgrades the rest of the season. Or if they just try to save money banking on the fact that they can hopefully win a championship without making any other changes, so that way when he jumps up to Xfinity Racing next year, if he wins a championship again this season, then he will have some extra money he could spend, and they maybe could have just as good of a start here in the Truck Series as what they did in the Xfinity Series, what he's hoping for. It's the first 2 laps of the final stage. Ross Chastain, though, has reined him right back down. Oh boy, Chastain almost got into Schneider. Look at Johnny Sauter all the way on the outside through 1 and 2. It doesn't usually work on that end of the track. And Chastain had a chance to slide in front of him, didn't do it. Here comes Sauter. Sauter trying to side draft him a little more through 3 and 4. Here comes Johnny, looking high. Not going to get there. Moffitt waiting in the wings behind, also looking for his first win of the season for GMS. We mentioned that earlier in the broadcast. Trying to grip the bottom as well as he can, but he couldn't grip it as well as Ross Chastain that time. Still got up high to block Sauter and down to side draft Chastain, who is in the bottom lane. Chastain looks for his first lead of the night. He's got it. Moffitt to second place, getting around the 99 truck. A block on Sauter. Sauter's got nowhere to go. He has a terrible restarts here today. Only 1 caution per incident, and that was in the middle of stage 2. They had a set of tires in the bag last night, as well as Charlotte. Those were both riskier ends because we didn't get a late race caution like Schneider had hoped for. We'll see here tonight in Texas if that is any indication, though. His tire fall-off has not been anywhere close to as bad as Kansas and Charlotte. Again, since the race being here at Texas, there hasn't been a ton of tire fall-off, so it's definitely worked on his side. He should be able to go pretty much all the way through a fuel run. So 1 more pit stop to the end of the race is definitely doable. If we get a lot of cautions, he does have 2 sets left. Off it to the bottom. Chastain running the outside, at least through 3 and 4 this time. We'll see if Chastain goes high through 1 or 2. That might allow Moffitt to close the gap if he does it there. And Chastain looks like he's smart enough to go down to the bottom. So I actually kind of like the line Chastain's running. If he can hold the top in 3 and 4, it's not a bad line on that end of the track. Not one I'd prefer. It doesn't mean Chastain's truck isn't fast up there. Gives him just enough straightaway speed down the front stretch and he swings back to the bottom into turn 1 with that extra speed. He's able to hold it on the bottom. Oh, Chastain actually goes up high again. Caution for the second time today, 77 to go. John Hunter Nemechek gets the free pass back at 12th. The caution's out with Ross Chastain in the lead. Again, our second caution of the night. We get closer to the end. Gilliland and St. Smith both going to hit pit road for fresh tires, but they're only going to have 7 lap fresher tires. Again, we went green with 84 to go in the final stage. Yeah, Michael, the Settings are pretty much the same for mine. The only time I do session qualifying, though, is on the road courses. Try to keep it realistic with the quick qualifying. They do still have session qualifying for road courses when they do practice and qualify. We'll see for a couple of the road course races this year. Remember, they're practicing and qualifying for Dirt Bristol this week. I think they start that, I think, tomorrow. I don't think there was any practice. I hope there wasn't any practice to qualify today. Otherwise, I missed it. I would have liked to watch it. I was off work. I had the chance to, but I did. What a jump on the restart. Schneider was in third instead of first that time, but still not inside lane. And look at the launch. Stuart Friesen, who restarted in fifth, followed Schneider through there. 3 wide to the bottom. And the third and fifth place drivers on the restart are running 1-2. Well, not for long. Sauter returns 3 and 4, going to get right back around Friesen for second and try to run Schneider down. Sauter's been good on the short runs. Tanner Gray, who won this race earlier this season's up to fourth. Look out for Tanner Gray to try and sweep Texas this season. Get that second win for sure, locking himself into the playoffs. We do get more than 10 different winners, which we're on pace to definitely doing so. Talk about the Cup Series having more than enough winners this year. How about our Truck Series career mode might do the same thing? It's crazy. This season's been so unpredictable so far. It's like in real life with the Cup Series. Sauter closing that gap. Half a second behind. He's a little faster in 1 and 2 than 3 and 4, it looks like, compared to Schneider. Pretty even through 3 and 4. I think just that little bit flatter of a corner is kind of hurting Schneider, trying to grip the bottom up perfectly. Sauter goes to the outside, though. Through 1 and 2. So does Friesen back there in third, and that lets Chastain get a run on Friesen for third place as they go into turn 3. Chastain makes the move to the bottom. Moffitt's still rounding out the top 5, holding back a couple of those trucks that pitted. Haven't alternated through the different camera angles yet. We'll do that for the first time tonight with 70 laps to go. Finally got your internet connection back. That's good. Billy, welcome to the stream, by the way. Beautifully hooking the bottom. Right on that white line. Chastain closing up on Johnny Sauter for second. Sauter's about a second off the lead. He just couldn't run Schneider down in the short run this time. Having to heat the tires after a 7-lap green flag stint before that first caution in the final stage came out. Definitely helped Schneider hold on to this lead on the restart. And what a great launch to get from third to first, initially getting into turn 1, taking it 3 wide, clearing everybody to get that track position with the clean air, which is so relevant here at Texas. Got a little tight off the exit of turn 2, but he's still running pretty good. Full throttle through 3 and 4, pushing hard, trying to stay at least a second, if not pulling away maybe a little more. Todd Gilliland up to fourth. He was one of the 2 drivers that pitted along with Zane Smith during that last set of stops. We're in the back half of the top 10, which there's only 12 trucks on the lead lap right now, so why not? Try something different. He's right behind both Sauter and Chastain as they battle still. Try and get out in front. Gilliland did get around Sauter through 1 and 2. is trying to go back to the outside. That's not going to work for him. Chastain got really tight off turn 4. Gillen gets a great drive to the inside. Chastain maybe blocking him here down the front stretch. He was doing that with Schneider earlier for 3rd. You can't blame him, though. Both Chastain and Gillen without wins. Gillen looks low off turn 2 again. Use those a little bit fresher tires to his advantage. Only 7 laps. Better than nothing, but it's not a huge amount. Tires are going to even out before you know it. So while that will be the case, that's why Gillen's trying to gain as many spots as he can. He is up to second. He's 1.5 seconds off the race lead. Schneider just tries to hold on right now. Tenth of a second quicker for 3 and 4, so not much of a speed difference at this point. To Gillen, maybe a little longer to get through the lap traffic than what he would have hoped. Zane Smith's taking even longer. He's still back there in 5th. He's still about another 1.5 seconds behind Sauter and Chastain yet. I know some of your guys' favorite drivers down in the chat. That's another good question. Sozios, Estilo Logano. Yeah, I like it. That's alright, as long as we're respectful of other people's favorite drivers down in the chat. Not bash them for why they like them. I mean, you can bash the driver all you want. You know, your opinions are never wrong. You're entitled to your own opinion, but you can't bash somebody for liking a particular driver. It's kind of my spiel on it. Yeah, I wouldn't know anything for Dirt Series custom setups. It's weird because usually when you race on dirt, the setups are completely different from what they would be from asphalt, but the video game still gives all the same setups from asphalt and just translates it to the Dirt Series, which is not true. Those setups are... The cars are so different. Like, and the racetracks are so different. You can't adjust them the same way. KFB is Patrick Chapman's driver. Yeah, so you guys know my favorite driver is Ryan Blaney, but as far as like other people that I've gotten either into NASCAR or family that I've gotten into NASCAR, my dad was a Dale Jr. fan, kind of bandwagon really, but and because now he's a Chase Elliott fan. He doesn't really watch the races. I've taken him to a few races here over the last few years, so he'll definitely go. He's all in for that, but he doesn't really watch every race. He'll watch some of the bigger races, and then really if I'm watching it and he's going to eat something or he's going in the living room while I'm watching the race, he'll sit down and watch the rest of it, but that's about it. But anyway, it's really like that with all my family though. It's not just him. Basically it's the same thing for everybody. So he would be a Chase Elliott fan. My mom's been a Harvick fan ever since he came in when Dale Sr. passed away, so that's kind of why she moved for him. But kind of same thing with my dad. You know, she'll watch the end of a race if she's in, you know, the living room while I'm watching. That's about it. Or goes to the races. Not every race I go to, they don't take that much time and effort out of it. I'm the diehard fan in the family, for sure. So there's that. My sister, Joey Logano, my friend that I got into NASCAR, Alex, I went to Dirt Bristol with last year, and hopefully can go to Talladega this year. He's a fan of Joey Logano. He was a fan of 2018 before he won the championship, so the fact his first year as a fan, his favorite driver won the championship, I was a little envious, a little jealous of that. But I was like, I've been a fan my whole life, and my favorite driver's never won a championship. So His first year as a fan, his driver wins it. Caution's out for the third time tonight with 56 laps to go, and this is where the split strategy comes into play. Schneider's going to hit pit road. Some of these other drivers are going to hit the pits, but not all of them. He's got an extra set of tires left. Austin Hill gets the free pass in 13th. Johnny Sauter, Stuart Friesen, Zane Smith, Todd Gillen staying out. Nope, now Friesen's coming into the pits. So it looks like we have 3 trucks staying out. Actually, I think Johnny Sauter's out of the race. So Sauter might have been the cause of the caution. I think he might have had an engine go out. Green flag back in the air. Top 2 on old tires. Everybody else on fresh tires behind him. Green flag with 53 to go at Texas. Before things get really stacked up on the street, start out, finish going through the list. Taking the 2 friends to their first ever race at Dover. Another friend of mine chose Paul Menard. Hasn't really picked another driver since when I took him to Kentucky 2018. And I think that's about it. I don't really know. My grandpa was a Tony Stewart. He was a Dale Sr. fan. And then when he passed away, he gravitated to Tony Stewart because he's a dirt racing guy. He owned sprint cars back in the 90s, 80s and 90s. So a big dirt racing guy. That's why I grew up, going to dirt races and stuff. He was taking me as well as my, parents, whoever was going. But he was definitely a large part of that. Large part of why I'm a NASCAR fan too. And so he was a Tony Stewart fan. Since he retired, I really don't know who his favorite driver is. But it seems like, especially now that Larson's with Hendrick and he's more competitive, I think Larson's his favorite driver now. And that would make a lot of sense, dirt racing. I'm surprised he didn't really... I don't remember really rooting for him as much as what I've seen him root for him this season. But I guess from what I've heard when he won earlier this year at Las Vegas, my grandma was saying that he was really stoked. He was pumped up about it, about him winning. So I guess that's his new favorite driver. And then my grandma was a Bobby Labonte fan until he retired. Hasn't really picked another driver since. She's even stated that she just kind of basically roots for the good guys. The average casual fan, she'll root for pretty much anybody good to win, and then roots against like the Bushes and Hamlin and Logano and Keselowski. Pretty much like every stereotypical NASCAR fan. Only she doesn't have really a favorite driver right now. My other grandpa was a Dodge, just like pretty much an overall Dodge fan. I don't really know who his favorite driver was. Since I've been out of the sport, I guess he's kind of gravitated towards Keselowski. He's a big America guy, and Keselowski's a big America guy, so it kind of goes hand in hand. I guess that's probably why, if I had to guess. Great battle for the lead going on right now. Look at the 2 ripping the outside of Brett Moffitt and Todd Gillen. A huge run. The 40 of Chastain got loose off turn 4. Schneider still tries to hold on to the lead. And not to give up that bottom to Chastain this time. Another run on the top by Moffitt, but Schneider holds him off. Just about took out the grass. Moffitt's got another run. Up high, but not enough of one to get to the outside of Schneider. And probably a lot of that is just running the high side in general in turns 1 and 2. Ran Enfinger up inside the top 5. Had some good runs here and there. Won at Daytona in the season opener. Gonna go for a second win here tonight. He's been close to getting that second win a few times in recent races. Chastain just can't get off turn 4 very well, and that's cost him a chance to really stay behind Schneider through 1 and 2, which Chastain's better in that corner. Schneider just keeps gripping the bottom. He's getting that low exit. He's not pushing tight like he was in the first 2 stages. A lot of that's just the drivability of the race car because he hasn't made any adjustment changes.
Looking inside now.
Trying to kill the birthday party to be back. All right, man. No problem. Tell whoever it is I said happy birthday. Who's this guy? Chastain still hangs on to second. In front of Moffitt. Moffitt might try the bottom this time. No, he stays high. So does Sheldon Creed. Enfinger goes to the bottom. Chastain kind of ran that middle lane. He didn't go all the way as high as Moffitt and Creed did. Schneider got a little loose off turn 4. That might be the run Chastain needs to get to the lead. Not quite. Oh, maybe this time. Looking a little higher. Still not going to get there. Chastain just about put it in the wall off turn 2 as well. Might have had to lift a little bit because he dropped a little bit further back into turn 3. Ken's a fan all the way until he's forced time in the JGR. Elliott fan. Alright. You've got to see a championship too. Granted, Ken's won a championship too. I don't know if you're old enough to remember Kendrick winning his title in 03 or not. Have to let me know down in the chat. Yeah, I was a Greg Biffle fan growing up until 2016, Blaney coming into the sport. That was Biffle's last year, so easy to gravitate towards Blaney. Dirt racing background with his family. I grew up watching his uncle Dale race in Northwest Ohio, so I was always a Dale Blaney fan. He was always my favorite sprint car driver locally, so coincidentally his nephew's in NASCAR. And in the top level, just won last week at Atlanta, so I'd say he's pretty good. Pretty good driver to fall back on. So I'm honestly rooting for him just as much, if not probably more than what I rooted for Biffle as a kid. And a lot of it is just the name here in Northwest Ohio. Born in the state of Ohio too, but knowing his family and watching his family racing my whole life, pretty cool that they go hand in hand. Everybody else is falling off, but Ross Chastain still is staying right there with Schneider in the 99, but Schneider has not given up the lead. He has hit his marks perfectly since the restart. 40 laps to go at Texas this time by. These guys are about 4 laps short on fuel to the end of the race. Remember, Zane Smith, Todd Gillen, they did not pit under the last caution. So we'll have to pit even sooner than the rest of the field, whenever that comes to be. They're going to try to hold full throttle through 3 and 4. To still stay in front of Ross Chastain, and does. Held his own pretty well at that end of the racetrack. And he's been holding his own since the restart again. Chastain desperately wants that first win of the season. Former Truck Series winner. Watermelon Man trying to get it done tonight. Locking himself into the playoffs. Austin Hill got the free pass. I believe it's also on older tires. He'll go a lap down this time.
Stay high, all clear.
Chastain got through 1 and 2 a little bit better. He was able to get to the bottom. Schneider wasn't really able to as well. Rhodes having an off night, 21st, a couple laps down as well.
All clear.
Breezen's still a couple seconds off the lead back there, 37 to go. We'll alternate through the different camera angles for the next 8 laps or so. Final time here in this race at Texas, and again, we'll be here tonight. Chance to finish my wings and get that stream all started and set up, ready to go. I'm qualifying for the last 2 races. I will qualify for Iowa tonight. I actually did practice before this race too. I don't think I'll practice for Iowa, but definitely wanted to make sure the truck wasn't going to be as tight to start off with practice and qualifying for this race compared to what it was at Texas the first time. Make sure I had the same setup. At the end of the race, That's why we're seeing noticeably quicker truck here out of Schneider this time around. On top of the fact that they unloaded faster too in practice even. That extra engine, aero, and suspension power compared to what he had here earlier this year. Tell you what though, if this stays green to the end, again, it is going to be a little bit of a fuel mileage race. I think everybody's short no matter what. I don't think anybody can make it, but 4 to 5 laps short on fuel. Quite a bit to save on a mile and a half. Any track, really, 4 to 5 laps. Quite a bit. Mile and a half, you're looking at about 6 to 7.5 miles. Trying to make it. Extra. There's Zane Smith and Todd Gilliland. Gilliland's a little bit further up ahead. He's had a faster truck than Zane Smith too, though. We've kind of noticed that all night. Smith still has a fast truck, but those older tires are not helping him out whatsoever currently. So just 10 trucks on the lead lap once again. We had as few as 9 on the lead lap at the end of stage 1. The driver started getting the free passes at both the stage breaks and then the 3 cautions we've had for incidents so far tonight as well. 2 of them in this final stage, but we've seen long green flag runs at the end of the race. And each of the last 2 races, a little contact off turn 4. Schneider on Tate Fogelman as he got a little loose off turn 4. Chastain still only a 1.5 seconds off the lead. He's getting through the lap traffic pretty well for the most part, not as well as Schneider, but truck's starting to come to the 99 as well on this longer run. Seen that over the last few races especially. Well, the second time we're going to be seeing a road course chassis lead run with Schneider and this truck team when we go to Iowa later tonight. Although I consider Dover a short track, still use a speedway chassis because it's considered intermediate on this game.
Stay low. All clear.
Being Christopher Bell gear at Dover, nice. Yeah, definitely got to represent your driver when you go to the racetrack. That's what I always do. Yeah, I would have been wearing my first ever race because it's 2015. Blaney wasn't in the Cup Series then, or at least wasn't in the race I went to. He was running part-time with the Wood Brothers, but I don't remember him running 2015 August Michigan race. So. I do remember Greg Biffle running like he was always good at Michigan, so I kind of had high hopes. And I was like, maybe this could be. I knew he was at the tail end of his career, but I was like, maybe this could be like that final win. It's my first ever race. I was, hyping it up. I think it would have been 15, 16, probably 16. I think it was the weekend of my birthday, so I want to say I was probably 16 years old. Go back to the normal cam for the final 28 laps now. But yeah, I was so pumped, and all I remember is he was running like 20th or worse the whole race. He was like 30th there for a large part at the beginning, and they kind of got to work on the car. He was up to about 20th by the end of the race, so that was about it. That was pretty disappointing for that. Matt Kenseth won that race, by the way. My first ever race, NASCAR race I went to. 2015 August, Michigan, and Matt Kenseth got the win. Second race I ever went to was 2018 Michigan in the June race. Clinton Boyer won that one, rain short, and ever since then, I've been traveling to races my own. I went to that race with a buddy of mine. That was the one that became a Logano fan. He's been going to at least a couple races a year since. He went to 2 races that year. I think he only went to one. 2019 only won last year because of COVID. He's looking to get back to at least a couple more this year. going to at least 3 to 4 races a year. Well, only 3 last year because of COVID. I went to 4 that year. I went to 6 of them in 2019. This year I plan on going, I believe, to 11 if you count the Pocono doubleheader, the fact that there's 2 races. And I'm supposed to go to 12, but unfortunately Dirt Bristol didn't work out. But I kind of expected that, though, when I couldn't find tickets immediately. So. Yeah, we'll see you guys at these racetracks this year, for sure. So wait to see if we get that final caution of the night. We had a late race caution at Texas earlier this year. Saw Tanner Gray won on some different pit strategy there at the end of that race. He pitted, everybody else stayed out into the last caution with about 10 to go on a restart. Got 24 to go now. Closer to 5 to 6 laps short now. If you look from the 99 is 6.5 second lead on Welch Chastain. Drivers that did not pit under the last caution are all coming to pit road right now. That includes Zane Smith, Todd Gilliland, looks like Austin Hill as well, just up ahead, Ben Rhodes, Christian Eckes, all coming to pit road. Hooters for the primary sponsor on this racetrack all season. I'm sure they're getting their money's worth tonight with all the laps led for this 99 team. Didn't lead the most laps once this year. That was at Atlanta when he did that. No other race he has led the most, even though he's got 2 other wins. Dover and Charlotte. Stage wins along the way. We mentioned he's had 6 stage wins on the year if you count the 2 in tonight's race. Looked like a championship contender even when he won at Atlanta this year, but I think, especially if he goes on to win today, that's going to be 3 wins in the last 4 races. Last 5 races. 4 top 2s in the last 5 races. I think you have to say he's a championship contender here midway through the season now. Wasn't at the start, but he definitely is now. Black Ace, also welcome to the stream. I forgot to shout you out there. My bad on that one. Hopefully you're still in the chat. I saw you up there a little bit ago, and I completely forgot. $20 to go. 3 wide into 1 underneath the lap trucks. Oh boy, near the 4 wide. There's Gustine all the way on the outside, our Kansas winner from last night. Yeah, Bella had a nasty flip at Daytona a few years ago in the track series. Yeah, that was pretty wicked because usually, like, you see those flips on the asphalt, they're not like as torpedo-y as that one looked. Like, usually, like those old crashes in the grass were kind of like that, but there was no grass to kick the car, you know, opposite directions and stuff. It was just like a natural roll. Especially in the truck series because those are a little heavier than the Cup and the Xfinity cars. So that was crazy. Wild ride for sure. He's taking some tumbles though when he was. Oh, we got a late race caution tonight. Tanner Gray gets the free pass in 8th. Caution's out with 19 to go, or 4th of the race. Pit stops for the final time coming. 4 fresh tires for Schneider. Oh boy. Hopefully he can do as good of a job as last time. No adjustments. This is going to get wild here in Texas. And I say guns blazing. That was kind of a stupid pun. That was because they shoot the guns off in the victory lane at Texas. I don't think they do that for the Xfinity and the Truck Series, but they do it for the Cup Series. So we got 7 trucks that are all going to restart at the front of the field. Some of them took the wave around, but they're only going to get 1 lap back. Guys that just pitted under green, like Gilliland and Smith. Guys that did not pit under the last caution. So that was our 4th yellow of the race. Green flag's back in the air. 15 laps to go at Texas. Schneider has not been as good on the short runs. He was on the last run. Been a while since he lost the lead. Another good jump, though, from the inside lane, and another fast stop by his pit crew to restart him on in first once again. A lot of drivers looking for the first win, like Sheldon Creed, who gets to the inside of Friesen for second place. This is going to get good here to the finish. Schneider needs to hold this track position. It means so much here at Texas, especially when battling for the lead. It takes him a good 20 laps to get back out in front when he does lose the lead, so the fact there's only 15 to the end of this one, he needs to hang on. Sheldon Creed to the outside, Ross Chastain with another good restart. Not initially, but he's up battling for third. Brett Moffitt as well. Second, third, fourth. All looking for the first win to clinch a playoff spot tonight at Texas, and they've got a shot to do it. The Watermelon Man, Chastain to the inside of the defending champ, Sheldon Creed. And all clear for second. Chastain, probably the closest competitor so far in Stage 3 to Schneider. Sauter blew an engine while running in the top 10, leading early. Was on the pole earlier in the race. Schneider slides up to block Creed, down to the bottom to block Chastain, and still holds on to the lead as they still remain side by side for second. And Moffitt running the middle lane. Is he going to take it 3 wide? Friesen kind of cuts him off a little bit. And Friesen might actually try to take it 3 wide up the middle. Nope, Creed blocks him off. Not going to let him do it. Chastain looking for a run. They're 3 wide for third. Enfinger's back in the top 5, trying to get his second win of the season. Chastain about took out the grass again. He's done that a few times on the front stretch. Digging deep, especially off turn 4. And Grant Enfinger looking for the lead. Creed might get a run off the top. Still can't get up there to the lead. Topside just doesn't work as well here at Texas. If that was any other mile and a half, maybe outside of Kentucky, I think he would have gotten to the lead right there. Allows Schneider to hang on. Creed pinching the 98 down, trying to side draft him through 3 and 4 now, not go as wide. 10 laps to go at Texas, and we've got about 6 trucks under a blanket battling for the win. Creed got a little bit of a run again, nowhere to go. Up the middle, 3 wide by Friesen for second place. How did he get into that middle lane without any contact as it closed up off of turn 3 and he couldn't hang on? Schneider's a little loose through 3 and 4. Still hangs on out in front as they still remain side by side for second, and that is a saving grace for Schneider, is that they've been side by side for second this whole time. Therefore, nobody's really able to get that massive, massive run. Here comes Chastain, middle lane, clears Creed to the outside. Can't quite clear Enfinger. And remains battling for second. Eight to go at the line. Any one of these 6 can win. John Hunter Nemechek, I think, just moved into 7th back there as well. Who knows, there might be a big wreck towards the front. Chastain looks high. Had a run, but just nowhere to go with it. 3 wide back there for fourth rather. Friesen to the bottom. Moffitt in the middle at the time.
Got one down low now.
And on the outside, still Sheldon Creed ripping it. Chastain with a huge run on the top. He's going to be able to clear Enfinger this time. Now pulls to the bottom with the run. So he finally clears for second place. Goes right back to the top in turns 1 and 2. And that just gave up the bottom for Enfinger to get alongside of him again. But Chastain gets the run down the backstretch, and again he's clear of Enfinger. Will he go to the bottom this time? Not quite. Oh, Schneider overruns 3 and 4. He gives up the bottom, and Chastain is going to get to the lead. Schneider got a little too tight as he overran the center of the corner. Chastain to the lead with just 6 laps to go. Schneider trying to get back down to the bottom. Has to let Enfinger go for second to do it. Chastain out in front. They're still 3 wide for 4th. Oh, contact. Moffitt and Creed off turn 2. Schneider back to the inside of the 98 of Enfinger for second place through 3 and 4. Enfinger probably going to get the run off the top. Schneider with a slide job. All clear. Tags the wall, though. Chastain pulls away a little more. 5 laps to go. Schneider's digging hard. Oh, Chastain gets tight. He goes all the way up to the outside through 1 and 2. 3 and 4 might work. 1 and 2 not so much. Schneider gains again. We're setting up for a wild finish here in these final 5 laps at Texas. There's still 3 wide back there for 4th. Chastain again to the outside. Schneider down to the bottom. Trying to get the run. Slides up the racetrack. Trying to side draft the 40 truck, and he just can't stay to his inside. 4 to go. Freeze into 3rd. Trying to get back into the regular season championship picture. Again, Chastain high. Schneider to the bottom. Slide job. Off turn 2. All clear. Oh, he almost put it in the wall. Chastain back to the bottom into the lead. Great crossover. Schneider had to lift or he was going to end up in the wall. Chastain just snuck back by and now to the bottom again. 2 to go at the line. Sorry, 3 to go. 3 laps to go. Chastain, man, he likes that outside for some reason, even in 1 and 2. Another slide job. This time, Schneider's going to complete it and stay out in front. Moffitt looks low for 3rd on Friesen into turn 3. Friesen maybe a little lower. Blocks not only Moffitt off, but he slides up the track on corner exit trying to gain on Chastain. Moffitt again looks low. 2 laps to go. Another lead change. Schneider out in front. But this battle is not over yet. Thought the race was over there for a second when Chastain got around him about 4 laps ago. Chastain staying consistent with the outside lane, just trying to get a run. Schneider's going to try to make him pass up high as well. He is not going to give up that bottom. He gave it up once earlier in the race. He gave it up once for Chastain to get underneath him again here late. Well, lightning strike a 3rd time though for Chastain. Final lap. White flag is in the air. 1 to go at Texas. Schneider trying to go for his 4th win of the season. Chastain trying to find himself in the playoffs if he can go to victory lane today, but he loses ground through 1 and 2. He's got 1 more shot through 3 and 4. He's about 3 truck lengths back into turn 3. Has to charge hard. Schneider again to the bottom. Full throttle for Schneider that time. He is not backing out at all. Chastain too far back on the top side. Schneider wins his 4th career race in the Truck Series in 10 career races. Getting the win at Texas after finishing runner-up here earlier this season. What a great shootout to the finish there with that late race, 15 lap to go restart. 4 wins for the rookie. And it's not just a rookie season in competitive equipment. It is a rookie season with his own team, which has been even more impressive right out of the gate. I look forward to see what he can do in the coming years, the coming series, throughout this career mode. Well, what a win here tonight. We'll take a look at the top 10. Schneider again with the win. Chastain finished 2nd, Friesen 3rd, Moffitt 4th, and Sheldon Creed rounds out the top 5, with Enfinger finishing 6th. John Hunter Nemechek 7th, Tanner Gray 8th. 8 trucks finished on the lead lap, by the way. Gillen 9th, and Jordan Anderson rounds out the top 10. Great run for him. He had a few DNFs in the race here tonight. 2 of them to be exact. Riley Herbst early on blew an engine in stage 2, and Johnny Sauter blew an engine in the final stage. He led some laps, qualified on the pole, was in the top 10 all day. Tough break for him. Maybe he would have had a shot to win there on that last restart. He was really good in the short runs. So 4 wins. There's a look at the new updated point standings. Again, Sauter, Chastain do not have a win. And Enfinger's only got 1 as well, again, because of having to kind of reset the career mode. Well, not reset it, but it not saving. We had to kind of just rush through the last few races. So the point standings will be the same as they run, but as far as the wins go, not all the same there. The stage wins, though, will be the same that you see on the right-hand side. So Chastain does have 1 stage win. Sauter does have 1 stage win. Friesen doesn't have any. Enfinger doesn't have any. Crafton's got 2. So those will all still stay the same. Zane Smith's got 2. We know Gustine's got 1. And the drivers currently, the 3 that are in on points, will be Johnny Sauter, Ross Chastain, and Todd Gilliland. With Gilliland having the last spot on points, Sheldon Creed, first driver out, there is a 29-point difference between Gilliland and Creed as we go into Iowa tonight. 6 races to go in the regular season. There's Schneider in victory lane once again here for the SpeedyCash.com 400. Finishing top 2 in both Texas races this season. And he started off the year kind of slow in the mile and a half, but he's picked up the pace here recently, and I think he's a threat for the championship if he wasn't before. Getting that 4th win of the year, season high in wins compared to anybody else. Couldn't have asked for a better start to his NASCAR career. 30.297 was the fastest lap. It was ran by Chastain. Schneider did lead the most, leading 121 of the 167 laps. And that track position definitely proved key in those final 2 stages. He won both stages and won the race as well. What time will that be? Again, scheduled for 9 o'clock. No reason we can't start on time. I don't have to back out, so we won't have to worry about it not saving for the next race tonight. So, yeah. We'll finish up the live stream here first, but 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the start time for Iowa. Two more? No, I can't do. I have to work tomorrow. I will never do 3 races in one day unless like we DNF early in 2 races. That's the only time we ever did that. We DNF'd in all 3 races on Thunder 04 once before. No, I will never do that many in one day. And the only reason I do 2 is if I'm doing a truck or Xfinity race because they're shorter. But no, we will. I need to finish eating too. I have a life outside of the channel, believe it or not, guys. Yeah, I got to go to work in the morning. I got to work the next 2 days. I work Friday, Saturdays. We'll take a look at the shop, see what we can do, what our truck's going to be like. Someone better call the fire department because, yeah, we had, Greenfield and somebody else tweeted at us the same thing Tyler Ankrum just did, but I'll still compliment it. Hot streak, keep that streak alive there from Friesen. And, yeah, we had that momentum bonus going into this race tonight too, which definitely helped. First time we had that all year, and we'll have that momentum bonus going into Iowa tonight too. Maybe we can get that first short track win of the season. That'd be pretty cool. And Clay Greenfield complimenting us again too. Alright, so on to Iowa. And on to the work plan. Get this other Speedway chassis worked on. We'll get the other Speedway chassis worked on. So we go road course racing this week. We might be able to upgrade that aero to 100 here pretty soon. I didn't know if I was going to make any more upgrades. I'm still a little hesitant on upgrading anything else again. I want as much money as I can to start. Again, we're at 159,000 right now. We're just past halfway through the regular season, but we still have total 13 races to go in the Truck Series. If we win the championship this year, then we move to Xfinity next season. But if we don't win the championship, I got to run the trucks one more season. So we won't have as much money for the Xfinity Series to start up next year. So I'm hoping we win the championship, but I want to try not to spend as much as possible so we can start off decent and not start slow, because we have to finish in the top 20 in points if we do get a win. And with doing these full races, if we're slow out of the gate, yeah, we can get a win or two midway late in the regular season. But if we're not in the top 20 in points, we won't qualify for the playoffs. So we definitely have to be competitive right out of the gate there and try to point our way in if we can't. Which we've seen some underdog teams in the Xfinity Series in real life recent years be able to do it. So no reason why we wouldn't be able to. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got working on. So by the time we get to Chicagoland and Kentucky, we will have a 195.95 at least. Unless we get a ton of money at Iowa. I don't think we're going to get enough money to upgrade anything anyway in the next race, even if I wanted to. It might take till Pocono to honestly get that. So, yeah, we'll wait and see. Start that work plan up. May not make it tonight. To get up at 2:30 tomorrow. Leave for Dirt Bristol. 2:30 a.m.? Man, your flight's early. Yeah, get your sleep for sure. But you can always catch it. Probably not on the plane ride, but you can catch it. Your hotel, and we'll be back live again tomorrow as well. Like, share, and subscribe as always for more daily NASCAR content. Let's get to 800 subs here in the next 24 hours, guys. I think we can do it. And we'll be streaming again here tonight on NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode, the M&M's 200 at the Iowa Speedway. Short track racing here on a Thursday night. Hope to see you at the top of the hour. And I'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.